Hello and welcome back. I've done some work in between episodes and I am cuberized. And welcome to my Let's Play Craftoria. Again, I've done things between episodes. I have cobbled deep slate since I have done a lot of mining and have an excess of this. I'm using this via this system to pull out from here and put into here, and as you can see at the top of the screen, I have 64 cobbled deep slate in there already. So if I add coal to this to get it going, you will see it activates, and it's going to make mercury, and it should pull, yeah, you can see it's pulling out 10 at a time from here, from the very first stack. So this process is working, and this is a Theurgy way to transport items, which is very handy. And yeah, that's doing its thing. Then I also have over here, coming out from here, which is why you can't see the mercury. It's coming out from here and it's going into here. So there we go. I have mercury in my hand, which I will put back in. So there's 19 in here, and there are 20 now. So there's 21. So you can see that the transfer is working. These are the final machines for Theurgy. And when I was looking at the Theurgy, these need to be completed. Well, the precious one that was unusual is this precious Iesnium, Iesnium, however that's pronounced. But making this sulfur, now I have done this, but making this requires you to get into occultism. So to be able to finish this completely off, I need that and a rare sulfur, which is iridium. So I went to the more difficult path first because I wanted to get into occultism, and I just created that. So occultism is revolves a lot around this particular ore, and you need to be able to find it. So you start off in the middle here. It tells you a little bit about what the concept is of occultism. And then you need your demon dream seeds, which will get you dream fruit. So you can set this up in a garden. Once you just have the seeds, and you can go around harvesting just grass and plants, how you'd normally get wheat seeds, you can find these. Once you plant one and you get a fruit, then you get to move on. And then you want to make these goggles. Unfortunately, to make the goggles, so the leather is straightforward. The lens frames require this thing called otherstone. And so you have to find otherstone. And then you also need to do these infused lenses, which requires a ritual. So, and the type of ritual is called, oh boy, Eusebius spectral compulsion. But you already have to have these glass lenses made. So this you can't really do yet. I have made them, but let me explain how you kind of go about this. So so we have that path. But to get to these other stones, and there's other wood, and there's this special ore, what you need to do is you need to craft this divination wand, which again is not that hard. So once you get to the dream fruit, it links you to this, but to make this, you really need to go this direction. So, which will get you the other stone. You have to get the other stone anyway, which is what you need to craft it. So, Spirit Fire, and the Occultism book will help you with this. But Spirit Fire I have down here. I have my Occultism needed, well, a lot of room. So I set this up, and I planted an apple tree. And I don't want to go too far that direction because I will do that. Oh, and I went to the bee dimension, so I have a lot of bees. And to do that, you either can have a bee's nest and throw a ender pearl into it, or you can set up this system, which I just surrounded it by dirt because it wasn't going to be a permanent thing. But you have a lever over a piston, and the piston you push. If you don't have an ender pearl, you push yourself into the bee's nest with the piston. And the reason I surrounded it with this is that if you, let me get rid of this so you can see here. No, that's more than I wanted. But if you crouch and you push yourself, sometimes you can slide above or below or down. Yeah, having the fire helps too. But yeah, so that's for that. Kind of wanted to show that before I got rid of it. So back to this. So this is the spirit fire that I made, and you can keep it somewhere. I put the border around it just so I wouldn't accidentally walk into it. And then I made these. Did I finally finish this one? I think I finally finished this one. It's no longer a work in progress, which is what whip is, by the way, if you see that on any of my stuff. So this is one of the smaller rituals, and this is what you need to do. Now, the little diagrams down below are required. The candles are required. The sacrificial bowl in the middle is required. And I put the yellow concrete underneath of it just to make it look nice and to try to remember where these got placed. So these colored blocks underneath are my decorative touch, if you will. And I put them under everything here, so just to make it look pretty, and I'll kind of go over what these other rituals are for. But so I don't think I have. Let's get rid of this. I don't think I have the book with me, which I need to go get. Let me go get that, and I'm going to do this quickly. Oh, I have expanded my kitty collection. Each one's unique. So if you're into that, that's how many are out there at the moment. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 different varieties I have. I wanted to get the book. The book I put, I think, down with the magic stuff, so I'm in the wrong area. Oh, and just a guy. I did finish Just Dire here. Other than personal storage, I did finish Just Dire, and I will show you that setup. The Void Shimmer, you need to get to the end, which is why there's an end block behind it, and the Shadow Pulse, you need to go visit the Deep Dark. Now, you don't have to go to the dimension itself. You can get what you need in the overworld if you can find a Deep Dark, and I recommend using Nature's Compass. You'll be able to find it. Also, I did the well, I'll show you when I get it to the next level, but the book I need, I believe, is right here. It should be, it probably went right in here. Okay. So yeah, Dictionary of Spirits. This is the book for occultism. And it's quite helpful. You can kind of go through, this is a very nice map because it kind of walks you through what steps you need to take. Now, you don't need to do all of them, obviously, but what steps you need to take to progress. And here's where those goggles are. So you can see you have to do some stuff before you get there. This also explains spirit fire. And so, yeah, so your fruit that you needed to get anyway for the quest, quest book down here in occultism, this fruit, and I can show you because I can get, show you how this works. It's actually not too bad. It's just you have to read this book pretty closely to get what you need, and we have to go around the big guy here. So, spirit fire. Let me get a fruit if I have one in here. I may have jumped down and not grabbed a fruit. Nope. Okay, well, I wanted to show you something anyway. Back here, this is the crystalline flower at full height, which is, it shows you here. And yeah, you can feed one of these crystalline flowers and make it grow to full height, and then you can actually use this to enchant, which is why I put it over here. Yeah, so the fruit. I don't think I'm growing any of these at the moment down below, which is why there's none in the inventory, and I hope that I have some. There we go. And then, where are my seeds? I don't have any seeds? Really? Huh. That's not good, because that's the only fruit I have. Alright, that's not good. And you can't turn it into seeds. Dang, okay. Well, something good to know. Don't use up your seeds. I've been recycling seeds and by putting them in the crusher, which gives me biofuel, and I've been bundling that up to put in these when it's raining out and dark and I'm not getting enough generation from the solar and the wind up above. to keep my AE system going as well as all my machines. And then I need biofuel as well over here for some other machines I set up that are mechanism oriented. You put biofuel in here and it gives you what's it called? Substrate. You get substrate. And then you put the substrate through here and you get the HDPE pellets, which you can make into rods. All right, very big tangent. So let me go and I have a bunch of these hunters roaming around. They're very cool. And yeah, I do not see any of those. Oh yeah, it's right here. Demon Dream. Okay, so I am growing them. Just used them all. Okay, so we're going to do this together. And that is not the tool I wanted. That's the tool I wanted. And let me take my magnet off because otherwise it'll just come right back at me. And let me turn that off. Okay, so I'm going to toss one of these and you light it and there you go. That's your spirit fire. Oh, don't even take damage. Alright, so there it is. Just that easy, and just that easy to put it out. I wouldn't recommend putting it out because you do need it for a bunch of things. The rest of occultism is driven around these oh, I think yeah, so here's the divination. So once you make this, you can make the divination rod. And I have these here as a reminder of the elements that you can convert. So if I have andesite, there's some andesite. So if I wanted to make this other stone, quote unquote other stone from occultism, you just take the andesite and you toss it in. And then it comes right back. It probably went right. No, it's right here. Other stone from occultism. And that's what happens. So if you put oak logs in, you get something else. You put netherrack in, you get something else. So I will demo that real quick. I don't have a lot of oak at the moment. I have way too much netherrack. Okay, netherrack. No? Alright, I'm doing something wrong, clearly. Let me go back to the book. The book is amazing. So when you make the divination rod, it tells you here, oh, oak saplings. Okay. Yeah. When you make this special occultized oak sapling, it will make itself, it will look the same, except when you hover over it, instead of saying Minecraft oak sapling, it will say occultism otherworld sapling. So, but, and in your inventory they won't stack. So let's make one of those actually. You need to, and I don't know that I have any. I do. So you see where it says, yeah. So they look identical, uh, you know, when you plant them. Here, so we'll go plant this right here so we know. And let's see if I have any bone meal so I can get this thing grown. Because this will make the otherworldly logs. Okay, and yeah. So again, it looks like a regular oak tree. If you, yeah, you can't, you can't see it without what's called third sight. So again, that's why you need the goggles, because it'll give it to you just like night vision. You wear them, something magical happens. So that's where that goes. And then when you have, oh yeah, diamond will get you this special spirit attuned gem, and with that you need gold, you need some kind of glass, and you need this spirit attuned gem, and you can make the divination rod. So I have done that already, and it's here, and I actually have it attuned to the ore already that we need to find. Coming back here, so this kind of tells you how it works. This is the reason these are here is because this is how you can attune it. Because you're using a regular item, so if you attune it to andesite, it'll go to otherstone. If you attune it to oak wood, it goes to the logs, and if otherwood leaves. And then if you do netherite, which is really what you want, is then you can get to this ore. And this actually walks you through what to do. I've already attuned it to the ore. Now, if you happen to have, let me just run upstairs. Oh, my other adventures in the bee world, I captured some of these guys, and as long as there's honey-filled blocks below, you can have empty bottles, and you can click on them and pull some of their honey out in a bottle, and then they'll bounce around and basically rehoneyify, if that's a word, themselves. Like that. They're not happy about that. If you go down there, they'd attack. But yeah. So that's a fun thing too. If you can find some of those, use the creature catcher from Just Dire Things. Oh, I forgot this is blocked. And I love it that these guys ignore me. Phantoms, just annoying. I did put my home waystone here. I built the mechanism teleporter frame, which is part of the quest series. And the reason I'm coming here is that the mining portal, most people would already have by now. The nether mining, you're like, well, you know, how much gold and, you know, quartz do you really need? Do you really need this dimension? Well, this dimension is very handy because you need to get to that ore that occultism uses. And let me go ahead and clean up my inventory here real quick, and I'll put my magnet back on. So to do that, coming here is a great idea because you don't have to worry about getting attacked or falling into lava, you know, all the things that we kind of worry about a little bit. So how this works is just like the other from my earlier episodes, if you saw how I did the divination rods through Theurgy, works if you have Theurgy installed in the pack at the same time that you have occultism, it works the same way, where you, and let me, you just right click it and it points you in the right direction that you need to go. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out my MK3 mining gadget, and I don't need that anymore, so let me put that away. Yeah, okay, so let me get this shrunk down, and the reason I'm shrinking it is because I need to be very careful. Okay, it's down at an angle, so I can go down here. Oh, the other thing I should see is what are my settings here. Magnets enabled, silk touch is not. Freezing, I don't need. Yeah, that's good. And I'm just going to keep rechecking. Okay, it's still down. Still. It's probably going to do that. Down just a little bit more. Okay, so it's in this general direction. So how do we see it? Well, because after running around through the Nether and through this dimension a little bit, I realized that I was missing something clearly in the instructions somewhere. So let me go, where's it at? Here. Nope. I know it was in here somewhere. Yeah, there's that. Huh. All right, let's go back to the other book. All right, so yeah, so you can actually, you know, throw the diamond in the spirit fire, get this, and you can make this divination rod. And as I said, with this you need 3 leather, which is the easiest part of this. The lens frames are otherstone and silver. Silver is easy. And this other stone, again, you throw andesite in here, you get that. So now that you have the spirit fire and you have andesite to throw in, you've got that, and it's that part's good to go. And then when you the tough part is the infused lenses, which you need this again, this thing with glass lenses. The glass lenses, again, you know how to make the spirit attuned gem. You throw the diamond in the spirit fire. So that's not too bad. And then once you have that, you have to do this ritual, which I probably should have done before coming here. So, okay, let's let's go home. Let me show you, because you need these goggles. Uh, you need the goggles. So let's jump down again. Okay, so the ritual, and I put signs up. So this is the ritual you need to do, and complete just means I made all the markings. To do this setup, and the nice thing here is rituals. So it does explain in the book how to do a ritual. Um, you, yeah. So you need the pentacle, you need the ingredients, uh, the sacrificial bowls, all this stuff. So it says here, okay, so rituals always fall. You draw the pentacle, you get your golden bowl, you get your sacrificial bowls, you put ingredients into the bowl, and then if they need it, and then right click. Yeah, and if it there's a gray particle, something's wrong. So it's helpful in that respect. Um, yeah, so you don't want to have the sacrificial bowls too far away from the golden bowls. So that's why I put the blocks down, is so I can make sure that they were close enough and didn't interfere with this. So, how with these marks, these are done with chalk, and so when doing this, uh, this book is very helpful because it will guide you through what chalk you need. So here, this is purple and white. Um, so when you're looking at doing the chalk, you can see that white is the first color. Once you get to the spirit fire, you can create white. Purple's a little way. It's you have to go through yellow to get to purple, but white is relatively easy. You need burnt, quote unquote, otherstone, and you need otherworld ashes. So to get these, again, not too hard. It just requires a smelter of either powered or not. But you take your other stone, again, from andesite into the spirit fire. You get other stone. You take the other stone, smelt it to get polished, and then you take the polished and smelt it again, and that will get you the burnt offering, which is half of what this requires. Because these are flip-flopped, it's the same chalk. The otherworldly ashes are this otherworldly logs, which is what we planted the tree for. And it could. We're going to get the otherworldly oak log. So that's why we planted the otherworldly tree. And again, if you need a sapling, you just take an oak sapling and drop it into the fire, and it'll come back as one of those. So, yeah. So you make this chalk, this impure white chalk, and then you'd make the yellow, which is, again, you start with a white. So when you go to make the white, you can make more than one, and then you need gold dust, which you just have to, well, we'll get to that. Glowstone dust is obvious. So the gold dust, And if you don't have, um, well, you can do an enrichment chamber, just put in raw gold and it'll give you the dust, and then you can take that, which you probably want to be doing anyway, is running, unless you have a more advanced setup for getting more than just a one-to-one for raw ore to ingots. Running it through the enrichment is a great idea because you go from 3 raw to 4 dusts and you use the dust down here. So that's how you make yellow. That's yellow here and white here, and then you get to purple. So this progression kind of shows you, you need to get to white, and white will get you to yellow, and yellow gets you to purple. So this is a little bit clearer in some ways. This is not bad either. You just have to follow where the stars are going. So you go from spirit fire to white, and you can also make light gray, but you don't need it right this minute. But you do want to go yellow and to purple. When you get these, the impure chalk, and I actually don't know if I have, let me see if I have any of those. And I did probably, yes I did, I put it away. Actually, that I can put away. No, I don't have any. Yeah, I don't have any at the moment. But the idea is that you make this impure chalk, and yeah, and then to actually purify this, to go from impure to pure, which is what you need. And let me see if I have, how much of the chalk I have. Okay, not there. Did I move this stuff? I may have moved it. Yeah. Okay, well, you throw the chalk in the spirit fire, it purifies it, and then you can do these rituals. So to do a ritual, they're listed somewhere. Yeah, they're broken out. Yeah, because this tells you all about the chalk. So, oh, here it is. So to be able to do, I mean, this kind of helps. To be able to do this, you need, you have to get up through purple. But when you click on this, it gives you a simulational grid with how things need to be placed. And what you can do is, if you click on that, so let me do that again. So when you're looking at this, whichever one of these, so this is under the summoning rituals. No. Well, no. Sorry, the pentacles. That you pick, you find the one you're looking for. Now I haven't set up all of these yet, but when you click on it and you click on the, because this is hard to see, you click on the multi-block and I just turned it off. Click on it again. Okay. So what it does is it gives you an idea of, which is great, the size of what it is you're doing, so you can find a open spot that'll fit it. So this will work. And as you're looking, the candles are changing color and they'll even change shape from the small ones to the big ones. But when you have a place you're ready to set it up, you sorry, you right click, and so these are the big candles. But you know, it's showing you the placement. So when you have the chalk, you just go along and you use the chalk on each one of these symbols. So obviously these are the white ones, and these are the purple. And when you fill them in and place the candles, the chalk lines will look like this. Now again, if you look over here, those colored blocks aren't there. I added those in for not only decorative, but in case I ever had to pick one of these up. When I first started, I didn't have bowls set up everywhere. I would pick these up and move them. So this helped figure, let me figure out where to put them back down. You can see that there and over there and over there. This is a small design. This is a relatively not, I'm not even going to say that's small. That's not that small. But this is one of the simpler ones. And again, if you go and click that eyeball, it will remove. So in case you decide, no, I don't want it there, I want it over here, you can do that and move it around until you get ready to set it up. These marks can be removed if you just, you know, I don't want to do it, but if you pound hard enough, it'll disappear. And of course, everything you can pick up, including the blocks and the candles. Candle colors don't matter. Blocks, if you want to use them, they don't matter what it is you pick. So, yeah. So I went with all white candles and the blocks so that the colors kind of matched the layout. There are some that require skulls. So, like this one. And again, this is a much more elaborate design. It's got a lot more chalk colors. There's gray, white, this lime green, and purple. Thankfully, white and purple I already had. And it's really nice to have the outline on the ground so you can just follow along. Here's again the lime green, yellow, gray, and white. And then this one over here has orange in it. So you'll probably end up making all of the, and see here I don't even have any sacrificial bowls. I would go grab them. I just haven't gotten around to making them. And let me get that out of there. It's in the way. So that is how all of that goes. Now, why you need this, you need these various things to do your ritual. So, and that ritual is to make the glasses. So I even think it says here, infused lenses, right here, the very first one. So this is talking about to make these goggles, you need to be wearing, to be able to see the blocks, you need to be wearing these goggles. It gives you something called third eye. And to set that up, you make the glass lenses, and then you actually put them, yeah, that's something we just, you put them like this. So you have the two silver, one in each bowl. You have a gold ingot in a bowl. You have your glass lenses that you made with one of these spirit gems and some glass. And you put that in a bowl, and then you do this book of binding. So, that's why there's 4 bowls, one for each of the items, and then you put the book in the center. And this book is, let me go to, yeah. And then when you're done, you'll have these infused lenses. If you've ever seen, what was it? I'm trying to remember what the name of the mod is. But it had similar properties in terms of, it was a magic mod that would pull things off of pedestals. And as a, dang, I just, brain fart, not, it's not coming to me. But to be able to, yeah, to be able to do this, going back here, you need the, it's called Book of Binding. Yeah, so to do the book, I think it talks about, where does it talk about it? Nope. Possession, rituals. It's in here somewhere. Binding rituals. Yeah. Yep, that's not telling me what I know it's in here. It's just a matter of, in fact, it might even be easier to go to the quest book. Book of Binding, right there. Okay, so this is what we need. This is just blue dye. So however you want to get blue dye, whether it's flowers or lapis, and again, the blue dye is the easy part. This is an empty book of binding, and this is just, you need a book and quill, and you throw it into the spirit fire, and it makes this book. And then you surround this book with blue. It turns into the book you need for the, and again, let me see if I have any books readily accessible. Ah, I do. Book of Binding. I created a bunch. So let me get some lapis. Okay, and then gold. Ooh, that is not how one spells gold. We need 1 gold and 2 silver. So, just to kind of show you how this works, and the lenses. Okay, we need to do the diamond. All right. There we go. And then I need to go get some glass. Which I have a lot to choose from here. Let's see if I can just use up some of this. And there it is. There's the lenses. Oops. And the nice thing is it didn't use up the gem. So I'm going to put my glass lenses and silver, silver, gold, and then the book. You must craft this book with the dictionary to bind it to a spirit. Oh yes, I have to actually get it bound. Because right now I have to actually bind it. So, alright, so going back to, I feel like I'm learning this all over again. Spirits, binding a spirit. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's the lowest spirit, I guess, if you want to call it that. There's tiers, and so as you go up, and I will look for this, and here, books of binding. Okay. Book of binding, yes. Bound book of binding. Okay, so yeah. Again, everything is revolves around throwing things into the spirit fire. In order to craft books of binding to summon spirits, purified ink. Yes, the black dye and the feather. Craft a book of binding. Okay, I did the wrong. No, that's been, I got that. Has not been bound. It's complaining because I haven't bound it yet. Okay. So no matter which recipe you use, you get this book of binding which hasn't been bound. And that's what it is I need to do. You need to take your book of binding with your manual for occultism, and then you get this that's bound, and you pull it out. That's the step I forgot. There. And it makes a happy little noise, and you get these purple things, and it's literally going to do yeah, it's gonna do this little purple fire around each item. Hello, bee. And remove it from the sacrificial bowls, and then when all of the 4 items disappear, you will end up with your goggles, which will look like I have them here somewhere. There, otherworld goggles. Actually, you won't end up with the goggles. You'll end up with the lenses that you need for the goggles. And I didn't need to make these because I already made these. I just forgot that step. Okay, so now I should have, there they are, the infused lenses. Now that is what you use to make these. And again, it's this setup. So when you have these go on the face, which this is the face slot, and if you look, there's the picture of the goggles that looks exactly like that. So I've removed my night vision to put those on. Okay, first thing is things are going to look weird. If you look at this, now, and let me take these off real quick. This does not look like an oak tree with these glasses on. So you take that off, you see it looks like an oak. You put this on and now it doesn't. For perspective, you know, these are probably all jungle. This looks like an oak. No, that's a jungle. That's an oak. So if this was one of those special trees, so when I had these glasses on, this would look like that one. So if I glance around, I am not seeing any in the wild, which is why it's helpful to throw an oak sapling in the fire to get one of these. So now if I take my handy dandy axe, if I did this without having the glasses on, it would, in fact, do I still have, I don't, let me just grab one. Okay. I'm just going to throw another one of these down. So even when you throw it down, it looks different with the glasses on. I just wanted to point that out, and we're going to... Okay, that's a bigger one. So you can see how they look very different from other trees. If I take the glasses off, so if you forget your glasses and you're like, well, I just need to harvest this, I know, I planted it, I know what it is, and you come over here and I'm going to take the leaves and I'm going to take that and I look in my inventory and it's oak logs and oak leaves. It does not say I'm super special. I'm, you know, so, whoops, let me pull that back out, put that away. So, how to get the special stuff? You have to be able to see it to get it. If you can't see it, and trust me, I cut down enough trees trying to figure this one out, you have to have the goggles on. So when I do this, yeah, there we go. And so now I have something, I have why do I feel like this is so wrong? Am I not using... I have to use a different tool. I think it's the tool, because I think that's... why? Hold on. Okay, these are the right saplings. Let me try that again. Yeah, it's stacked. Alright, that's bad. Let's try this again. Okay, definitely the right tree. I don't think I have a... Now I have a gold pickaxe. do have the infused pickaxe. All right. All right. What is the deal? One thing I didn't mention that I'm circling back around to is one of the things that's good about the dream fruit is that it gives you, you eat it and it'll give you the third eye, so you can actually, and you can use it to heal summoned critters. If you get the demon, or am I saying this wrong? No, it is. So you can eat this, or you can eat this, or you can eat this to get third eye. This doesn't have any negative effects, but you will get negative effects with the others. So just something to... So, as I was trying to say, you're growing these fruit. If you eat one, and I've taken my glasses off, you get this effect, but here I've also got hunger, which thankfully went away very quickly. This does not last long, but you can see that these are the special trees. You also tend to get some bad effects. Now, if you take those and let's go. Okay, don't know where that came from. If you take these fruits and you merge them together, you get an essence. It kind of, to me, looks like a lettuce leaf, but go with what you think it looks like. But again, this is improved. In a way. This lasts a lot longer. Unfortunately, you get hit with a variety of positive... I have bad luck too and luck too at the same time. You get a whole host of positive and negative effects. So, not ideal, especially when you're out and about. So what you can do with these, again, we come back to the Spirit Fire, and we toss these in, and that will get us this kind of outlined special otherworld essence. This will not give you any negative effects, which is kind of nice. I will... Okay. Yeah, see, my sight is already gone, and these things are still lingering. So, but that's how that works. So, now, I did just get the sight, so there it is, and the sight's going to last me for a minute. So that's not bad. especially if you don't want any of the negative effects. So there's that. Um, if you can make the glasses, great. If it's a little too much involved, a little too soon, you can always go with the special otherworldly essence. Might be an easier way to go. So there is that. With these different, you know, layouts for rituals, I found it helpful to put up signs so that I can find which one is which, because some of them are very complicated. So I did do the orange finally, so I need here red and a crystal. So I still have work to do with this one. Yep. So that was handy to be able to keep track of. Because again, these take a little bit of time to put together, and it's nice to keep track of where things are. And some of them require many of these sacrificial bowls, depending on how complicated the recipe is. So keep that in mind as well. Yeah, and then you, as I said, you can kind of work through the quests. I'm up to the red chalk, which I need next. And then I need to be, doing all these summonings, which is what you need the different layouts here for, which I only have 4. There are more than that. I haven't been able to finish that one yet, so, but yeah, yep, and you can summon all kinds of very, very cool things to be able to finish that. But when you do have the ore, well, now that you have the goggles, if you go back to our mining dimension and see they've all become honey locked again. Very cool to have those so that you can keep getting bottles of honey, especially if you're planning on going back many more times. Up. Oh, okay. That did not work well. Let's try that again. Nope, 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 nope. Okay, let's jump. Alright, there we go. Keeps the blood pumping. Alright, so going back to our dimension here. Yeah. I tried to jump the gun a little bit by coming here too soon. This is the only hole, so this is it. Alright, so if I'm in the right spot. Okay, I'm not seeing it at the moment. I figured I'd use these so you can see what it looks like. Let me just double check also that... Am I facing the wrong way? Yeah, I'm facing the wrong way. Not a problem. Just turn around. Now, I will see the ore. because I have the oh, still this way. Still have the effect going. Okay, the effect is stopped. So I will go ahead and eat another one of these. Alright, there we go again. Yeah, that's still there, although it's a little bit down. Okay, now we're kind of going this way. That's another quartz, it's not it. Alright, we're gonna go this way. Still just trying to find it. Oh, now we're gonna go down. Oh, I hope this is not something I've already... it may be something I've already mined out. Yep, it is. So if you look, it's kind of... yeah, I already mined it out. Okay, let's find the next one. Let's do this. Let's eat this. And let's go dig this way for a while. Yeah, it's going back there. It's still going back there. I don't have that turned on. Okay, now that I've run out of that stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to the goggles, since it's a better way to go. Okay. That's still pointing me back there. I'm almost thinking I should have gone to the Nether. It might have been easier. Huh. Okay. I'm going to go to the Nether and we'll find it there. Be right back. Okay, in the Nether, and I've got one. I have no idea how far in it is, but we'll go ahead and Oh, it's way up. Okay. Oh, there it is right there. Dang it. It was the white cube that was that I just... Okay, let me see if I find another one. Which way is this going? Down? Yes. Okay, let's go down. Let me see if I can show you what one actually looks like without actually mining it. But it's a white block, so it stands out very much against the red. It's still that way. Oh. There it is right there. Okay. Oops. Oops, 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 oops. Of course, it just went right over top of... Let me get some of this and I'll fix that. There. That takes care of that problem. Okay. This big white block with the blue, that's it right there. And as I said, you can see it very easily. I will go ahead and line that up. And let's make sure I actually got it. And I did not. Why am I not? No, that's the... I'm missing a step. Why am I missing a step? What am I forgetting? Alright, let's find another one. Alright, there it is. They only occur one block. So if you find one, you have to go find more if you need more. Okay, let's go this way. That's why that got lit up. Wait. Okay, it's back here. There it is. Okay. Now, let me pause for a moment and figure out... I can't remember the special... what the heck? What have I done to the book? Okay, no, I don't want the bookmarks. Open search. No, I don't want to do that. Let me go here, because this should be... Oh, shoot. That's exactly what it is. That's why I have the infused. That's... Okay. So you have to make an infused pickaxe to be able to mine this. And an infused pickaxe. Let's forgot about that part. So this takes well, it takes this. So there's I have it back there at my house, but you need 2 silver ingots, 2 sticks, this pickaxe head, which is the you're basically making a diamond pickaxe, but with these spirit attuned. So this is 3 diamonds that you drop in spirit fire to make this, and then yep, yep. And then you have to do this ritual with this book. And so this is a binding book for a djinn. And this takes one of these book of bindings that I already had, surrounded by purple dye, makes a purple book. And then again, you need the book and quill to get this. So it's not, you just have to remember what you need to throw into the fire and what you actually need to do a ritual with. And I have to keep looking it up, clearly. But once you get that, you get this infused. I put fortune, unbreaking, and mending on it because I had it. And there, that should get me there it is. Yes. There. And so again, you just repeat the process. You hold this down, it'll get a new somewhere. Yep. And we'll just go. Do one more. Okay, back up. Of course it's that way. Let me get this. What am I not? I don't need that at the moment. I did make sure that I have my special fire walking boots on, the magma walker. So that's also helpful. One of the reasons why coming into the nether, you just have to be careful. I've died more times by lava than I'd like to admit. It's just way too easy to die by lava. Oh, okay. So having the boots are handy. And there it is, I just saw it. Okay, here it is again. Fused pickaxe. There we go. And done. So that's how you do it. You just keep repeating the process. It works like a regular pickaxe. That's why mending is handy. Yep. Okay. Well, I'm going to go home from here. Hopefully you found this informative. And again, once you have a few of the ores, you can actually then go through and you can make your pickaxe out of it, which is, a standard 3 ingots over 2 sticks. Easy enough. I have not made it yet, but you can do that. And then, yeah, then you can also use it with Theurgy. So you want a small stack, I would say. I'm not sure 8 is actually enough to do what you want to do, but yeah, I would start with 8 and then see what you need to do from there. If you need to go back, and again, once you have the goggles, then you don't have to keep juggling with the fruits and the essences and the short duration But if you just need a few to get started and you have those accessible to you, that's a lot easier than sitting down and trying to make all the chalk, to make the glasses, to then be able to see, to be able to find these things. So, hope you found it helpful. And again, you'll need occultism to finish Theurgy. So there you go. And have a good day. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. And I will get another episode out soon. Take care. Bye. Cuberized, signing off.